Brilliance Audio presents You Betrayed Me by Lisa Jackson, performed by Angelo Di Loretto and Brittany Presley. I have to leave. James Cahill gazed hard at the nurse adjusting his IV. Lying in bed, doing nothing, was getting to him. The hospital walls were closing in on him. And the not remembering, that was killing him. In due time, she said pleasantly, offering him a sympathetic smile. Sonia Richter, RN, according to the name tag that swung from a lanyard at her neck. In her 40s, a knowing smile on her face, her curly red hair clipped away from her face, a sprinkling of freckles sprayed across a slightly upturned nose. She was slim and attractive, and, he guessed, blessed with a will of iron behind that empathetic grin. The time is now. It was all he could do not to grab her wrist and give it a shake, to emphasize that he was serious. He'd always been a little claustrophobic, blessed or cursed with a lot of energy. That much he did remember. Being confined in a hospital was definitely not his thing. I understand. Do you? She gave him an I've heard it all before look that, he supposed, was meant to shut him up. It didn't. Mr. Cahill, James. It's James, he said, not interested in any kind of formality. I'll talk to the doctor, James. He felt a sharp prick as she adjusted the needle, but he didn't wince, didn't want to appear to be a damned wuss. He'll get you out of here as soon as he thinks you're ready. She shook her head. Trust me, these days we don't keep patients a second longer than absolutely necessary. Stepping away from the bed, she asked, So, how's your pain? It's fine. On a register of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest intensity pain? She motioned toward the wall, where a chart had been tacked. The chart was a display of cartoon faces, everything from a pleasant, pain-free grin under the number 0 to a contorted, red-faced grimace at 10. When you say you're fine, is it fine as in here? She indicated a calm, happy-looking face under the number 2. Or, she moved along the row of ever-increasing unhappy faces. Here. She tapped a gloved finger at a sweating, frowning image at 8. Shifting on the bed, he felt a sharp jab in his shoulder. Blast. I'm okay. Uh-huh. Disbelief. I said I'm okay. That might come up for debate. Her eyebrows elevated. So? Your pain level? Maybe a 5 or a 7. Yeah, a 7. It actually was much higher, but he couldn't bear looking as weak as he felt. He always struggled when he wasn't in control. She wasn't buying it. Had probably seen it all before. No reason to be a hero. That I'm not, he assured her. No lie there. It was one of the things he did know about himself. One bit of insight he recalled, and about the only thing, at least as far as recent history went. I'll get you something to make it a little more tolerable, she promised, as she stripped her gloves at the door and tossed them into a wastebasket. Wait, he said as she started to leave. What day is it? The date? The 4th. When he didn't respond, she clarified. Of December. He squeezed his eyes shut, tried to do the math, but had no real starting point. So I've been here, 2 days? It's Sunday. You were brought in Thursday night. The 1st. He'd been here 3 damned days? And in that time, he remembered only glimpses of people coming in and out of the room, bothering him, not allowing him to sleep, always asking how he was feeling or poking or prodding him. He'd had no awareness of time passing. Until today. A digital clock mounted over the door told him it was a little after 2 in the afternoon, the gray sky outside confirming that dusk was still a few hours off. I'll talk to Dr. Monroe, the nurse said. He's on duty this weekend. She stepped out of the room. 2.5 days of his life gone, lost in the black hole of his memory. How had it happened? James had no inkling why he was here, though he was sure he'd been told. In the haze of the last few days, he recalled seeing the doctor, though it was vague, and he couldn't call up the guy's name or what the doc had said was wrong with him, if they'd even had that conversation. If so, he couldn't call it up.